Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a gameplay review from a recent League Cup that I played a few matches on stream. I played Pidgeot Control and I have um, 3 different matches to review for you guys. So this was Swiss Round 3, I'm 2-0 at this point. This cup was just streaming Table 1 every match and I happened to play at Table 1 a couple times. So yeah, I am currently 2-0 going into Round 3. And yeah, um, I'm up against a Maridon deck here, so we're just shuffling up and all of that. So yeah, we're going to be starting pretty soon. I'm actually just going to go ahead and skip to when we actually start. Looks like this is where we start. So I'm going first. I start INC. I nest ball for the Pidgey. And I just benched Luxray because I don't want him to bundle and I have to bring up my Pidgey. Because having the Pidgey get knocked out turn 1 would be pretty bad, so I'm forcing him to just have balls here. So this matchup is pretty decent for me. So my opponent's just using Tandem Unit, just checking some of the prize cards. Looks like he's eyeing up the Rotom. Just kind of thinking about what to get. I also did speed up the footage a little bit, just to limit the amount of waiting time for when we're thinking about actions and all of that. So my opponent goes for the Maridon and Raikou V. And it's looking like my opponent's going to get Hands and Rotom. The thing about Rotom is it actually can't be trapped in this matchup because it has an attack that does take lightning energy, so most decks can't utilize that attack, but Maridon actually can. And I believe my opponent has the Magnemite in hand, so he's probably just going the Tandem Unit for the hands and... Oh, it looks like he's just going to fail the second one. He probably has 2 Pokemon in hand that he can bench. Benches a second hands and Magnemite. I'm not sure how I feel about the second hands coming down. That seems like it could just become a target for locking into the active spot, but ends up using a generator to get a lightning energy on the Iron Hands. And I think he's probably just going to end the turn here. No, he passes. Yeah, he attaches and then passes. I go Candy Pidgeot. I just have it in hand. And then I use my Pidgeot EX. Looks like I'm just going to kind of check prizes here. It's possible I go for a Fang Snipe here, actually. Or no, it looks like I'm maybe just gonna look for... Oh, I'm just checking the Mimikyu pieces because my main win condition in this matchup is going to be getting down to Mimikyu with Mist Energy Defiance Vest. And it looks like I'm just going to go ahead and get the Mimikyu out right now. Not sure if this is correct or not, because since Defiance Vest is not yet active, they could potentially start targeting down the Mimikyu with the Magneton. So in retrospect, that was maybe not the optimal move. So looks like I'm just thinking of what to do here. And I end up just passing, looks like. Where's... Yeah, so my opponent attaches to the hands. It looks like he's just going to hold on to the secret box, doesn't want to let go of that switch card yet. And I think here I'm probably just going to go for a Fang Snipe, it looks like. I think I already have my double turbo energy in hand, so I'm going to just penny the Diancie and more than likely just Oh no, I'm going to go ahead and flip my V-Star and get the double turbo for the Luxray V. And I'm just going to retreat and Fang Snipe. And my opponent has Secret Box and Switch Cart. I take the Switch Cart because he's not going to be able to Secret Box anyways since he needs to discard 3. He doesn't have that many in hand. So he just passes, attaches, and then passes. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the Defiance Vest and Fang Snipe the Secret Box. Attaches. My opponent just attaches an energy and passes. So I'm in a pretty good spot here. I just boss the second hands and Fang Snipe, discard his Ultra Ball. He passes, and my opponent has a 0 card hand here. And we actually realized in a moment that we weren't putting damage on with the Luxray, so we're going to fix that in a second, so don't worry. Me and my opponent both forgot about it. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and fix that. And I use Fang Snipe just to deal 10 damage. It's not very relevant right now, though. And my opponent, it looks like he's thinking of what to do and ends up just passing. I quick search, can't really tell what I searched for. Is that, oh, I think that's boss, maybe. Oh, okay, yeah, that was boss. So my issue here is I need to bait him into taking a prize card to activate Defiance Vest, and I also am not sure that I want to, I also don't want to go down to Lone Mimikyu too quickly, just in case he is able to, like, pop the Magneton, go into Zapdos, and knock me out. That would be pretty bad. So I have to play kind of cautiously until I know exactly what he has, but I end up just pushing the Mimikyu here. I just want to force him to do something. We're just going draw pass here. Definitely not the most exciting game. However, some of these other matches later on are going to be a little more interesting. My opponent goes Ultra Ball here. And he's probably going to grab the Magneton. Yeah, getting the Magneton out. And I attach double turbo to the Pidgeot. I think that I'm going to just end up going for a wait, I think I quick search. I pop out back Penny and Boss and quick search for Boss. So I'm just gonna go for like an aggressive knockout, I think, more than likely. Yeah, I'm just gonna knock out the Magneton. I just kinda wanna see what he does here because I'm almost certain he doesn't play Zapdos. However, I just want to force him to do something here. And I have Flute in hand, so if he doesn't get anything off of this tandem unit, then yeah. So my idea with the Pidgeot was I knock out the Magneton. If he tandem units for Zapdos, then I know I need to play around it. If he tandem units for Pikachu, so he can maybe get the Zapdos play later on with putting Area Zero in play, then I can just trap the Pikachu. So either way, the Magneton going down kind of just puts him in an awkward spot. He fells the tandem unit, and I think he's just going to end up arm pressing here. And of course, it does hit the It does hit for the weakness on Pidgeot. So he goes ahead on prizes, and I flute here, and I end up hitting the Lumineon. So he's bench locked out of Zapdos here. So now I basically just have a win condition here. Um, as long as I don't deck out first, which I won't because I have Xerosic Iono. To ensure he decks out first. I don't think there is any way I can lose here because he's bench locked out of Zapdos, has no way around the Mimikyu, and yeah, I end up just passing. I'm just going to keep passing here until he decks out, and eventually he's just going to scoop pretty soon. So we're just going to go ahead and skip ahead to the next match. So I'm going to just skip over to when my next match starts. This time I'm up against a Gardevoir deck. Coin flip. I think I won the coin flip, or maybe I lost. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I think I lost the coin flip. So I think I'm going first, most likely, because going second is better in this matchup. So this is um, a Gardevoir deck, which should be a pretty okay matchup for me. So we're just shuffling up here. And my opponent's just checking his deck for something. We're just gonna go ahead and skip ahead here. So yeah, I'm going first. I start the Alakazam, I Nest Ball, and while I'm searching my deck, I realize my Phoebus is prized, so I'm gonna have to Heavy Ball for that at some point, since I need to set up the Milotic. Luckily, the Milotic is not prized, which is the important card to not have prized, since that cannot be searched off Heavy Ball. If my Milotic was prized, I'd be in for a pretty rough time. So I end up benching Ogerpon just to thin it out of the hand, and then instant charge. The reason for benching Ogerpon is if he plays Iono turn 1, then that's one less card I need to draw into to set up the lock. And my hand's actually, it looks pretty decent for next turn. I whiffed the turn 1 Pidgey, which isn't ideal. However, I can at least, more than likely, get the Pidgey the next turn. So my opponent goes Heavy Ball for Spiritomb, benches the Spiritomb, which I don't love to see because my Rotom gets shut off. However, that is a potential retreat lock target later on because the Milotic prevents the opponent from picking up any Pokemon, uh, which does include the Spiritomb's ability. They can't pick up the Spiritomb with, or the attack, sorry, the Spiritomb's Fade Out attack, which does 10 and then goes back into the hand. So if I can get my Milotic set up, the Spiritomb is a retreat lock target. So my opponent secret boxes away a couple Kirlias, a counter catcher, and we'll see what he gets. Goes for the Temple of Sinnoh, Bravery Charm. More than likely, oh, he goes for Ultra Ball. I thought he would go for Puffin there, but getting the Ultra Ball, eyeing up that Fluttermane, and grabbing the Arven. All right. And I think he's probably just going to pass, most likely. No, he's going to actually play the Arven. Okay. Grabs Team Evo, and I think he's failing the item. So he's going to attach Evo, and probably use it. Yeah, he's going to Evo the routes into a Kirlia. So I draw for turn here. I'm going to try and get my Pidgeot established next turn here. So I'm going to Arven. Gonna try to get that Nest Ball and for Sealstone. I go ahead and attach the Forest Sealstone because either way, so if he knocks out the Pidgey, then I at least have my Forest Sealstone to get a card from the deck to try and set up for next turn. However, if he knocks out the Rotom, I still have my Pidgey, so either way, I should be okay for next turn. So I go Ultra Ball here. I Ultra Ball the Black Huron, not a very good card in this matchup. And then Arven, which I think I have another Arven in hand. But I end up just getting another Pidgeot just to make sure that he doesn't knock out my only Pidgey. I just want to get 2 Pidgeys down. Otherwise, I probably would Ultra Ball for Phoebus here, but Phoebus is priced, so I'm gonna have to more than likely set that up with a Turo play at some point, or a Thornton play at some point. And then I just passed because my Rotom is turned off by Spiritomb. So my opponent uses Refinement, discards the Temple, or no, Charm, sorry. Ultra Balls for a Gardevoir EX. And my opponent only has 1 energy in the discard at this point. So I don't think that he can take a knockout unless he finds a way to get another energy. Ends up just evolving the Gardevoir. and I think he's just going to hit my Pidgey for 40 with the Scream Tail. Yeah, just puts 40 on the Pidgey. Alright, so I have Arven in hand, I believe. Oh, I go ahead and use the Alakazam here to heal the Scream Tail, just because if the Scream Tail is healed, then they can't do damage. So we go ahead and Arven for Candy Charm. I Candy Pidgeot. I go for the one that does not have damage for some reason. The other one probably would have been better. I guess I just wanted to lessen my odds of actually having the Pidgeot get knocked out soon. So I quick searched for Heavy Ball. I'm just gonna go ahead and get that Phoebus out of the prize cards because getting the Milotic set up is pretty important here. Yeah, so I go ahead and Heavy Ball. I grab out my Phoebus, shuffling out the prize cards. And I attach Charm just to play around Monkey Dory because if he can get Monkey Dory here, then he could knock out the Phoebus. However, giving that Phoebus 50 extra HP seems pretty good just to block that Monkey Dory. So my opponent, I don't think he has anything in his hand that he can play here. I think he has like a Temple, and I can't tell what else, but it doesn't seem like anything good. Super Rod and Night Stretcher, it looks like. So he's actually just going to go ahead and go for a Fade Out play before I get the Milotic in play, which seems very smart here, just to just to go ahead and remove that Spiritomb from play because it is a retreat lock target eventually. And I'm not sure what I'm going to go for here. My Jet Energy is prized. Otherwise, if I have a way to get my Milotic in play, I could go like Force Seal Stone for Jet, Quick Search for Erica. But I'm just going to go for Flute here, I think. And I get Routes and Drifloon, and I just Instant Charge. Alright, so playing this one pretty slowly here. My opponent's going to go ahead and shuffle back from the Flutes. But yeah, I know that my opponent's not really putting much pressure on me right now, so I don't need to play too aggressively. I can kind of just play slowly, develop my luck, and then eventually set up some sort of Milotic luck. Also, my Erica might have been prized. That might have been why I. Well, no, using Erica there for the Spiritomb wouldn't have done anything because he just attacks again. So yeah. So he goes ahead and uses the Night Stretcher just to get Curlia out. Draws into Turo. So he could Turo to bring something up now. Just uses the Temple just to potentially turn off my Jet and my Double Turbo Energy. And he plays Iono. So gonna disrupt my hand, which is quite large at this point. And I draw into Grand Tree, it looks like. So I can just go ahead and Grand Tree my Phoebus right into my Milotic. Or I might actually just Grand Tree my Pidgey. And then Ultra Ball for Phoebus. Or Ultra Ball for Milotic, I mean. And my opponent's going to go for a Gardevoir attack, which I actually don't mind seeing the Gardevoir attack here because that puts him ahead on prize cards, so my counter catcher is activated. And he knocks out my Alakazam, so pretty happy about that. Alright, so I'm thinking about what to Ultra Ball. I Ultra Ball Blood Moon and Mimikyu. Neither of those are too important here. And I think I'm actually just going to go for a Fez here. Yeah, I'm going for Fez, and then I'm going to Grand Tree the Phoebus into Milotic, I think. Oh, I'm gonna Grand Tree. Yeah, I have another Ultra Ball in hand, so I'm gonna go ahead and Grand Tree my Pidgey just to get another Pidgey or another Pidgeot set up, and I'm gonna go ahead and Fez just to. Wait, I Fez before Ultra Ball. I must have had some cards I didn't want to discard in my hands. That must have been it. So I go Arvin here. And I get counter gain plus accompanying flute. I'm going to try to set up a lock here. We're going to see what my flute hits. And I end up hitting the Bidoof and the Greninja, which is very good. As long as I hit one Pokemon that can get trapped, then I'm fine. But hitting a second one uh, locks him out of Monkey Dory, which is very good. So I go ahead and counter catcher here. And I still do not have. Alright, so there's my Milotic, and I have not used Quick Search yet, so I can actually just Quick Search for Double Turbo Energy right away. I attached the counter gain to Ogerpon just to thin it out of the hand in case of Iono. However, that probably wasn't necessary. It probably would have been better just to hold it in the hand anyways, but it doesn't matter too much. So I go ahead and retreat and sob, and my opponent, I think, is kind of just trapped here. He has no way out of this lock, and he's just going to end up just passing until he decks out. I'm just going to go like Xerosic Iono at some point. So yeah, I pretty much just have this one. So we're going to go ahead and skip to the top cut match. I'm in top 4 at this point. Um, and yeah, I'm against an Archaludon deck. So we're just shuffling here. I can probably just skip ahead a little bit. And it looks like my opponent is going first here. He won the coin flip. So I think I lost the coin flip all 3 matches here. Because if I won the flip, I would opt first into this matchup. But he's getting the Greninja down, and I didn't realize this, but my opponent does not play Thornton. So getting Greninja down, maybe I can take advantage of that at some point. And my hand, you'll notice here, my hand's actually pretty good. I'm gonna Nest Ball for I think Pidgey. I'm pretty sure I saw the Rotom in hand already. So I'm just checking my prizes here. Just want to see what I have prized. So I Nest Ball for my Pidgey. I have Rotom there. I attach the Forest Seal Stone. Which my Forest Seal Stone is not active right now because of the Jamming Tower. So I think I'm just going to shuffle and then end up just instant charging here. Yeah, just activate instant charge, draw 3. And then my opponent is going to Iono, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I'm just going to draw a dead hand off Iono. So we'll see what I draw here. Nothing great at all. Just pretty much dead cards. I do have an Arvin, but it's not doing me much for this next turn unless I draw something good. Because my Forest Seal Stone is, of course, not live. My opponent goes Vessel for 2 Metal Energies. Concealed cards. He draws into his Scoop Up Cyclone there. Gonna just Ultra Ball for an Archaludon. I'm gonna bundle and send up my Rotom because I don't want my Pidgey dying here. And I'm actually just going to promote my Alakazam and just hope to top deck something here because I have Arvin, but unless I top deck something like Arvin's not doing anything because Arvin's not finding me the pieces for um Pidgeot and Red Candy. And I could go for like Ultra Ball for Seal Stone, Ultra Ball for Luminion, and for Seal Stone for Grand Tree. However, the Forest Seal Stone would be turned off because of jamming towers, and I don't have a Stadium Bump. So I think I'm kind of just cooked here. I play Xerosic just to maybe make my opponent discard some cards. He discards Ultra Ball and Tower. And I just pass because I have nothing else to do here. Bosses the Pidgey, and I'm just gonna, yeah, he just takes the knockout, and I draw and then scoop up my cards. So yeah, I just bricked off Iono there. Pretty unfortunate. So yeah, we're shuffling up here, going into game two. So I need to win this one and then win the next one. My opponent's shuffling the deck pretty good here. And I opt first here just to have that extra turn of setup. And once again, my hand is not great. I just start the Ogre Pawn, and my opponent starts Luminion, so I might have gotten a little bit lucky there. But I'm gonna heavy ball just to see what I have. I'm writing down my prizes here. And I get the Blood Moon, I think just to have a card to discard off Ultra Ball here. Otherwise, I would have probably Ultra Balled first. However, I didn't. Yeah, I don't think I had anything that I really wanted to discard from the Ultra Ball. So I discard my Pidgeotto. And I just pass. So my opponent Ultra Balls, grabs out a Dura. Going to go ahead and Ultra Ball for Shuppet, which I actually did not realize my opponent played until just now. So the Shuppet could be pretty annoying for sure, just to get back Turos or something along those lines. Or if my opponent plays Thornton, get that back. But at this point, I'm still not sure if my opponent plays Thornton or not. But he goes for a research here. And I think he just passes. So yeah, I use Luminion here. I'm going to Arven for Sealstone um, and Rare Candy just to get my Pidgeot online. And I think this is actually where I make a misplay. Not sure that it's that relevant, but here I need to just buy a turn with Sob, and I'm going to end up attaching Double Turbo, and I don't realize my other Double Turbo, or I forgot my other Double Turbo is prized, but that would have been a misplay anyways, because Jet would have been better either way. But yeah, I end up just attaching the Double Turbo and using Sob. I definitely should have attached the Jet, though. That would have been much better. Because I don't really care about dealing 20 damage to the Luminion. But he finds Turo right away, and he's just going to knock out the Ogrepon. I wasn't expecting him to have it all uh, exactly that turn, but um, but yeah, he had it, and he's just gonna go ahead and knock out my Ogrepon. And I'm in a pretty bad spot here. He's gonna make a few more actions before knocking out the Ogrepon. And he's going to use the Metal Defender, attach, and probably just attack here. And this is where I'm starting to think maybe I'm kind of cooked here. And yeah, he just takes the knockout. And I don't think so. I Yeah, I don't have a way to set up the lock this turn, unfortunately. But I am just going to. I don't even remember what I did. We'll see. Yeah, I think I have my Milotic in hand, so I'm just going to get Mimikyu, it looks like, and hope to buy a turn here by pushing Mimikyu and having my Milotic in play. So yeah, that seems to be the play here. And I'm just going to hope my opponent doesn't have it here. And I think his hand is just not very good. If I remember correctly, I think he's just going to end up passing. He has the Greninja in hand, so he could bench that and try to draw a couple more cards. Although I don't know that. Yeah, he's just gonna pass. So I quick search here. I'm gonna Silene because I need to get back that double turbo energy. Using the double turbo was kind of a misplay anyways, but yeah, I'm gonna have to get that back. So I Silene here. I hit one head, so I get back the double turbo, and I just pass. And my opponent top decked boss, and he bosses the Luminion, which I think might have been incorrect. I probably would have gone for my Lodic there. Yeah, my Lodic probably would have been better. And I have Nest Ball in hand. I think that might have been my top deck. So I could go for Nest Ball here and hope to find either my Night Stretcher or a Counter Catcher. However, if my or I can Nest Ball for Fez and hope to find one of those. And if I find it, then I can set up the lock that turn. However, if my Fez whiffs or if I pull everything off and he has Thornton, then I think that either way I'd kind of just be cooked. But probably the Fez play would have been better. I'm not sure though. And I'm just gonna push Mimikyu here. Yeah, going for Fez probably would have been a better play. So I'm looking at my discard, trying to think of if I have anything I can do. And my opponent's going to Night Stretcher for Luminion, and then just gonna boss the Milotic. So yeah, I should have definitely gone for the try to set up the lock that turn. Or wait, no, I don't know if I even could have gotten it because I would have needed to flute something out as well. So I don't think I don't think I had any way to get the lock that turn unless my Fez found like either flute, Night Stretcher, or Counter Catcher. I needed to find two of those off Fez. So yeah, I think Fez maybe wouldn't have been the better option. But yeah, at this point, I'm just in a terrible spot. Like, I can't Night Stretcher back my Lodic and Ogerpon. I need to Thornton back into my Lodic, and then Night Stretcher. I need to my Night Stretcher needs to get like my Lodic and Ogerpon, so I'm gonna have to Silene back that Night Stretcher at some point. So at this point, I think I'm kind of just out of options. Like, I have no way to win anymore. I don't think. I'm just trying to think of any way to win. He has one prize card, and I would normally go for. I have Luxray and DTE in hand, so I would go for an Iono here and hope to just brick him for multiple turns. However, my Iono is of course prized, so I mean, this is just it's kind of just the perfect sequence of everything happening wrong here to lose me the game. So I'm just gonna zero sick and hope to brick him with Luxray. That's my only shot. And then I go for Vest Luxray. And I am going to Fang Snipe, and he has Turo, Palpad, and Night Stretcher in hand, and I go for Night Stretcher because I don't want him Night Stretching back in energy, because essentially Night Stretcher is the only thing that could get him playable cards here. The other two cards are nice to have, however, I need to make sure he has a dead hand before I use them. And it looks like he just top decks Research there, or Nest Ball, I think. Yeah, he top decks Nest Ball. So he's going to Turo back the Lumi. Nest Ball. Just going to get another Drillodon. Palpad. Going to send back the Turo and Research, it looks like. So yeah, just trying to put back a few more playable cards for the next turn. However, I'm probably just losing this one either way because he has Luminion for next turn to get our Research. And yeah, just going to hit for 220. And I, of course, cannot play Erica and Penny at the same time, so I have really no way to get through this tough situation. And it's looking like I'm just going to end up using Penny here and just hoping for the best. I don't think I really have a win condition anymore, other than just getting super lucky. Yeah, I just go for the Mimikyu and then I use Rotom. So I'm going to use Pokegear and fail it, and then just Lumineon for research. The reason to use Pokegear there, I think, just to get research and not have to pinch Lumineon, maybe? Or I guess you could thin out another supporter. I don't know. But gonna use research, and I think he just finds, yeah, he probably just finds what he needs here. I'm gonna pinch another Duraludon. Probably just playing around like, I'm not even sure. I'm just gonna pass. So, yeah. I don't think I have a way to win here. I'll have to get super lucky here. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of any possible win condition. I think I'm gonna end up. I think my Silene is either prized or discarded. So I can't even try to go for like a Silene Night Stretcher playback and try to set up a lock next turn. I think I kind of just have nothing left at this point. Oh yeah, that's right. I had to use Silene earlier on to get back the DT. So I'm gonna Powpad. It looks like. I might be eyeing up Boss. Not sure what I'll go for here. Yeah, it looks like Boss. I just need to buy a few turns. It's looking like. And yeah, I'm just gonna Boss the Greninja. Hope that he doesn't have it, and I'm just going to use Instant Charge. And I think he just has Game in hand. Yeah, he has the Jamming Tower. He either has Boss in hand or he's about to find it off this concealed cards. Yeah, he concealed cards, draws into the Boss, and he just has it here. There's the Jamming Tower, Retreat, and then Boss the Rotom. So yeah, I ended up losing in top four, unfortunately. Kind of a good matchup, I would say, but just didn't really work out the way I wanted it to. But there you have it, guys. If you like that video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.